What's up, gamers? Welcome to the 2,000 subscriber special, or the operator tier list, depending on why you're here. But, I'm gonna talk about YouTube and maybe get emotional here for a second. So if you're not here to see that, I'll leave a timestamp in the description that you can skip to get to the actual content of this video. But just wanted to thank you guys for being here with me, for subscribing, watching the videos, hanging out with me on stream, all that stuff. We hit 2,000 subscribers yesterday, which is absolutely freaking insane. Like, I thought it would take me years to be here, and I couldn't be doing it without you guys. I really couldn't be. It's not me that's running this. I mean, you guys are the ones who watch my videos, click subscribe, like it up, all that stuff. I couldn't be here without you gamers. I really couldn't. So I'd just like to thank everyone for watching this video and all the other videos, and hanging out on the stream, and following on TikTok, and all that other stuff. We just got 998,000 more subscribers to go until 1,000,000. So we're working on it. We'll get there eventually. That's the goal, 1,000,000. All right? Cool. That's probably way too ambitious, but we'll figure it out. All right, time to get into the video. A lot of you guys left feedback on my last tier list video. I'm making sure I take a lot of that into consideration this video, because a lot of it was good feedback, and I appreciate you guys caring enough to give feedback, right? All right, so the first operator that I want to throw in the bottom is Knock, all right? Knock, she's just not a very good operator. You really need to have a strat for her to be effective. Playing her in solo queue can work. I mean, being able to get by those cameras is great, but, you know, there's other operators that can do what she does and do it better and are way more useful than her. And it's just insult to injury having that FMG9, which is one of the worst guns on attack, if not the worst. Her grenades are good, but the guns just make her almost unplayable. Alright, next, I wanna put Finka down here. Alright, Finka's, kind of just thought of as a not great operator today. After she got nerfed all that time ago, she just kind of fell out of the meta. She doesn't have outstanding guns. Not that they're bad. They're decent weapons. You can get kills with them easily. I guess the Russian sights could be considered a downside, but her utility just isn't strong enough. On PC, at least. I know on console, that recoil buff really helps you guys out, but on PC, managing recoil isn't a super big problem for a lot of us. The grenades, okay, maybe that's a, reason to play her, but there's just operators that are better, and that's just the way it is. And the next one is Callie. Now, I think in team play, Callie can be justified as a good operator, okay? She can help Thermite get those walls open, which is a necessary thing. Those walls need to get open, and if they're bandited, Callie can help you out with that. But in solo queue, she can be replaced by Thatcher or Maverick if you need to get the walls open, and her rifle is just so restrictive. Not being able to take those close-range encounters with the rifle just limits her ability to, do as much as she can, because in solo queue, you need to do as much as possible to get your team, give them an advantage, and the rifle just doesn't help her. I guess the SMG is good, but the SMG is pretty weak. I mean, there's just operators that do what she does and do it better. Alright, that'll conclude the F tier, alright? Not too many operators, I would say, are F. Next in E, we're gonna have to go with both the shields, Blitz and Montagne. Now, Montagne is a great operator, okay? In team play, Montagne can be one of the best and most challenging operators to play against. But in solo queue, when you're not going to be having reliable teammates to play with, who aren't going to be taking your callouts, who aren't going to be supporting you, you're going to end up getting, just killed by a bunch of guys who just run at you, and, you'll get smoked out. If their entire team's on top of you and you don't have anybody helping you, you're going to die as Montagne. Same thing with Blitz. I feel like Blitz is just not a good operator. He can get shot in the toes. I mean, he has really no utility. Like, alright, next for the E tier, I want to put Glaz. Glaz, I don't know, maybe in team play you could consider him good, but after he got nerfed, his utility just doesn't really, help that much. It really only helps him out to get some frags, and he does have those grenades, which is good, and the smokes, which definitely complements his kit, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like he's justifiable anymore in solo queue, because what my team uses Glaz for, which is in team play, not solo queue, is we cover plants with Glaz, and we do that so rarely, because Glaz just can't really function. Again, sniper roles just do not fit in Rainbow Six. Alright, next for E tier, I'm gonna slap Fuse down, okay? Fuse, he has the AK-12. Probably, no, not probably, objectively the best gun on attack, the AK-12, okay? The Russian sights are kind of a pain in the ass, but ignoring those, he's a 3 armor, which, you know, really limits you in solo queue. You need to be able to get around the map as fast as you can, and, you know, you're just so limited by that, and his utility just really doesn't help. I guess his utility could be worth it, you know, if you can get a pick with his utility maybe, but it's really just luck, and chance is not a good thing to rely on in R6. The last one for the E tier, I'm gonna say, is Amaru, okay? Now, Amaru has the G8, which is the gun right now in the meta. The G8 slaps. I expect a nerf to be coming for the G8 soon. But as of now, Amaru has the G8, but her utility doesn't help the team, which isn't super important in solo queue. But her ability is meant to play super aggressively and almost rush. But that's not really how you should be playing solo queue. If you're dead in the first 30 seconds, you know, in solo queue, you're not doing everything you can. And in solo queue, you need to be doing everything you can if you want to win. Alright? Also, she's kind of like Fuse, where there's kind of a chance of you're relying on the defenders to fuck up for you to get picks with Amaru, right? Let's go on to the D tier. For the D tier, the first operator in there is going to have to be Lion. Alright, Lion used to be meta, but he got nerfed to hell, I feel like. You know, in team play, making a coordinated push with him is really powerful because the defenders can't really move without giving their positions away. And I think Lion's a strong operator for roam clearing with a team. But we're not talking about team play, we're talking about solo queuing, and in solo queuing, he's almost useless. His guns are above average. That 308 is really good. The V308 is a really good rifle. 50 rounds, you know, manageable recoil with a pretty high damage output and a decent fire rate. Next, Dekobi. She's good, but she got nerfed pretty hard after they took away the grenades and after they took away a lot of her, you know, damage on her guns. That when they nerfed her guns, I feel like she fell out of the meta. Also, she's countered easily by Mute. She's good for roam clearing, but again, you just need that coordination with a team. Alright, next up is going to be Ying. Ying is an operator that I feel like is sort of in the meta right now. She can get free kills with her utility, with her flashbangs, and can really, you know, be instrumental in taking a site. But with Ying, I feel like, again, it requires coordination with your teammates. That's something you're really not going to be finding in your solo queue games. You know, maybe you can yeet your flashbangs in there, blind the enemies, get a free pick or two, but it's just, there's people that have more utility. Her guns are okay. I'd call her LMG average. The slow fire rate really hurts it, especially, you know, the slow ADS time, because it's classified as an LMG in-game. The slow ADS time really makes it challenging, you know, to get in those close quarters situations with her. Alright, moving on to the C tier. First off, I'm going to be throwing Twitch. I forgot to put her up here. First off, I'm going to be throwing Twitch in the C tier. I feel like she used to be a hell of an operator, but, you know, now that Thatcher is kind of more, you know, understood and he can be used to clear utility, I feel like he can replace what Twitch's, you know, drone used to be used for in competitive play. But Twitch still has an insane gun, the F2, as long as you can manage the recoil on it. And I feel like if you're fragging out, if you're getting your kills, if you're picking people off, play some Twitch. You know, her guns will really complement your ability to, you know, get those frags. But otherwise, she just doesn't really help. Next up, I'm going to be throwing Ashe in there. Again, it's kind of the same thing as I just mentioned with Twitch. She's a fragger. She's an operator where you have to be doing good for her to be good, right? Her gun is a strong gun, Ashe, but her utility isn't. It's really, honestly, I wouldn't even call Ashe, you know, an operator with utility. All right, next up, Blackbeard. Blackbeard is really, really good in solo queue because he can land you free picks. I don't want to say safely, but he can land you free picks more reliably than a lot of other operators. That shield really just, I just feel like it doesn't belong in Rainbow Six, the way his shield functions. His guns are kind of crap, but with that shield in front of his face, you're going to be landing a lot of kills you shouldn't be. It's kind of like a cushion, you know? You have room to fuck up, and you can still get picks, which I think is good, because in solo queue, you pay for every single one of your mistakes. Alright, next up, Capiteo. I'm debating, I feel like he'd be more of a BC tier, okay? Because Capiteo's the 3-speed, right? He's fast as fuck. He can maneuver around the map incredibly quickly, which is necessary in solo queue. You know, he can help get those walls open by blocking a bandit tricker through a drone hole, which isn't always possible, but it can help. And then, you know, his smokes are you kind of need a team, a coordinated push to use his smokes with, but his guns are what is so overlooked in his kit. He has that LMG, which is great, plus that epic scope where, you know, the peripherals aren't blocked, which I think is a really great, you know, addition to his kit. As well as that Para 308, that gun is insane. I mean, high damage output, good fire rate, no recoil at all. That thing is a laser beam. It feels like you're playing Call of Duty when you shoot that thing. That will probably, yep, that is concluding our C tier. We're going to be moving on to B. First off, Zofia. Zofia is similar to Ashe, where, you know, you kind of need to be getting kills with her if you're playing her. Her guns are insane. She has really, really, really good guns. That pistol with the red dot, very, very good, very strong. Her main LMG, but her AR is, you know, a top-tier gun on attack. But her utility is especially useful for the walls, right? Shooting your Zofia charges through a drone hole on a bandit tricker and interrupting that bandit trick animation can really be, you know, helpful, and maybe even get your Thermite a kill on that bandit with his breach charge. And she just has those stuns. I feel like she's Ashe with a little bit more utility and a little less speed, okay? I would be putting Zofia in the CB tier, okay, for solo queue at least. Again, like with Capiteo, but I can't do that, obviously, because this tier list doesn't work like that. But she's really strong operator, you know, in her fragging capability, but her utility still isn't, you know, great. Next, I'm gonna throw Gridlock here. Now, this might be surprising to some of you guys, but you know, it's so important to not have to rely on your teammates for basic things like flank watch and solo queue. Gridlock watches those flanks. I guess her stuff can be shot out, but you're probably going to notice if you're paying any attention. And she has really, really, really good guns. Her guns are really strong. That LMG she has is great. Her F90, another great weapon. And then her tracks are great, plus the smokes can be super useful with her kit. Okay, but the only downside, the reason why she's not up here, or up here even, is just because you really need that maneuverability in solo queue, and you just can't do that with Gridlock. She's just too slow, I feel like, to efficiently, you know, take advantage of her kit, because if you're hearing someone shoot out your tracks, you need to get over there fast to pick them off before they're rotating out, and Gridlock is too slow, man. Next, I'm going to be throwing Thermite and Thatcher in here. Now, these two ops aren't the same in my mind, but actually, you know what? No. I'm going to save Thatcher for later, okay? I'm going to be putting Thermite in here because he's just one of those operators that is necessary, okay? You need him to function on attack. Now, he's not specifically good for solo queue nor team play. He's just a necessary operator in general with arguably strong guns. We're going to be slapping Jackal in B, right? The roam clear is super important on solo queue, so you're not getting flanked later in the round. And Jackal can just land you so many free kills with that, you know, tracking ability, where you can just find where an enemy is without even droning, save your life, get you kills, and his guns are so powerful, right? Having a good kit in solo queue is very, very important. He's got the utility with the smokes, the tracking, the shotgun for vertical play, and then the insane primary weapons. Jackal's a hell of an operator. Unfortunately, he's often banned. I want to put Ace here, okay? Ace, I think Ace is somewhat underrated. I know I haven't been paying a ton of attention to the Pro League meta recently, nor the ranked meta. Ace is a jack of all trades, man. He's got that AK-12, like I said earlier, the best gun on offense. Objectively, you cannot argue with that, okay? So, he can get those kills. He can secure the kills. He has smokes, which means he can plant. You can help his teammates plant and give cover with the smokes. Smokes are great in R6, okay? And then he has those 3 Ace charges. I think they're called Selma, or Selma sequence charges, right? He can throw them on those walls and basically do what a Thermite would do, except 3 times. He can do basically the 3 necessary steps to secure an attacking round by himself, which is just godsend in solo queue. Next up, I'm going to say Yana. This might surprise some of you guys like Gridlock, but Yana's been getting a lot more play in Pro League recently, and she's more of a frag-reliant operator, similar to Zofia and Ashe, where you kind of need to be getting kills with her to be effective, to be helping your team out. But droning in solo queue is super important. Checking your corners, making sure what you're pushing is clear before you push it is just, you need to be doing that. And Yana has, I don't want to say infinite because they have to recharge over time, but Yana has more drones than most attackers. Most attackers only get those 2 drones. Once they're gone, you don't have any more intel, basically. Maybe like Jackal can help you get more intel, or I don't know, something like that. But Yana has more drones, plus grenades, plus, I don't want to say good guns, but average guns, right? Next up, I'm going to be putting Hibana in A. Okay, she's just one of those necessary operators. Like I said about Thermite and Ace, she's just necessary to win rounds. The hard breach is, you need it. There's no argument to be made against it, right? But she can get 3 hatches, plus breach charges, plus she has good guns. I mean, she's a great operator, right? Next up, IQ, okay? Now, I'm sure you guys know by now, the G8 is one of the best guns on attack. It is meta as heck right now. You're getting 51 rounds of laser beam ammo, as well as her utility, IQ's utility. Clearing that utility on defense is so important, right? You need to be getting those echo drones so you can plant later. You need to be getting those bandit charges off the walls. You need to be getting those Valk cams. Next, Thatcher. Kind of the same with IQ, all right? Thatcher has great guns. Not as good as the G8. Nothing's as good as the G8 right now, except for the AK-12. But Thatcher has a good primary, and those EMP grenades aren't just for getting walls, right? That's what a lot of people don't realize. Those EMP grenades are not just for getting walls, they're for clearing utility, right? You can get Echo Drones, you can get Valcams, Jaeger ADSs to open up so many more possibilities for your team with Thatcher, all right? Next up, Sledge. He's got those grenades. I mean, I'm sure you guys predicted this one coming here. All right, Sledge is one of the most playable operators on attack. SMG-11, insane. L8, It's good. It's good. I'd call it above average. Those grenades, perfect for his kit. And then that sledgehammer we can play vertically above, all right? Okay, here is our final S tier people. We got 3 operators in there, all right? We got a Maverick, Nomad, and Buck. I'm going to start with Maverick, all right? Maverick is your one-man breaching machine. This guy can do every single thing you need to a wall, right? Plus that M4, insane gun. He has one of the best pistols on attack, which I don't know how important that is to you guys. But grenades as well. This man will get the wall open. He can Maverick trick, open up a thermite-sized breach with the help of a soft breacher or his own grenades. He can shoot out bandits from the wall. He can make peek holes with his Maverick device, blowtorch, I should say. And then he can throw grenades through that, maybe even catching a bandit tricker. This man will get your wall open as long as he is alive, okay? Now, Nomad. Nomad is like Gridlock. She's going to watch your flank, right? And as a solo queue player, that flank needs to get covered, right? Because you're not relying on your dumb teammates. Really, the amount of times, if you watch my stream at all, you know how much I complain about the mistakes that I make myself, right? In solo queue, never blame anything on your teammates. That's no way to improve your skill. But trusting your teammates in solo queue is just, So you need to cover your own flanks with drones, watching them with nomads. And then Nomad has those breaching charges as well. One average gun and then a below average gun. But her utility is worth the below average guns, trust me. For the last operator in the S tier, we're going to be we're going to be placing Buck for our last operator in the S tier. The reason I say this, and the reason why Sledge is not S tier, is because Buck can play from both below and above. So in solo queue, I don't know where you guys are at, right? I'm not going to be able to make a video that's going to apply to all ranks and all play types and all skill levels, right? That's almost impossible. But if you're in copper, not that I'm saying you're in copper, okay? And if you're in copper, it doesn't matter that you're in copper. Rank could not mean less, right? Rank doesn't matter. Don't think rank matters. Don't feel bad about your skill level if you're in copper. Rank is not a reflection of your skill. But if you're in copper and you're playing people who don't understand the game as much as, you might, and you mispredict, because from copper to silver, the enemy team is completely unpredictable, which is why I find it so hard to play in those ranks. But if you mispredict the enemy team and they're above and you were planning on playing vertically with sledge, you can't sledge out the floor with a sledge, right? So you go buck instead. So if they go below, you can shoot from above. And if they go up top, you can shoot from below and play vertically from below. Gamers, that concludes our solo queue tier list for attack. 2,000 subscribers. What the hell? You guys are insane. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or you found anything in this video helpful, you can drop a like and subscribe to return the favor to me. But again, just thank you for watching this, and peace out, gamers.